I'm here to provide an update into what happened this evening. The use of deadly force is a last resort that any officer wants to take. In this case, the suspect, who had already stabbed the mother of his children, was firing on officers and left us no other choice. The suspect, the 33-year-old white male, who was wanted for repeatedly stabbing the mother of his children this afternoon, he had stabbed her in front of the children, who are between the ages of 2 and 6, and left her bleeding in the 2800 block of 35th Street. He drove away with the children, and she is currently listed in critical condition at the hospital. The suspect left his children with his brother before reportedly stealing the brother's AK-47. Our officers spotted the suspect vehicle at 5:40 p.m. near Dale Mabry and Spruce Street, heading southbound. Our officers were following the vehicle, waiting for air service, and at 5:48 p.m., the suspect pointed that AK-47 at our officers. A pursuit was initiated at Lois and Cypress. Our officers attempted to stop the pursuit using our spike strips. However, the suspect drove around them. The pursuit went northbound on Florida when the suspect crashed into a blue sedan with an adult male driver and a female passenger, closely where we are right now. Immediately after the crash, the suspect opened fire on our Tampa police officers with that assault rifle. Multiple officers returned fire, striking and killing the suspect. Fortunately, no one was injured. FDLE will now investigate the officer-involved shooting aspect of this case, which is standard practice for any officer-involved shooting. The officers were all placed on administrative duty, and in my opinion, are heroes in this act. Our thoughts are with the stabbing victim as she fights for her life in the hospital right now, the children who experienced this, and the occupants of the vehicle. No one should have to witness the chaos that this suspect caused our community. Our victim advocates will be working with those who had to experience this traumatic event. Every officer who puts on a badge knows the dangers that comes with this job, and yet they come every day to serve and protect our community. Fortunately, they'll be able to go home to their families tonight. Let me be clear, this suspect was a public menace and a deadly threat to our community. He had no regard for human life, as evident by his actions. Now I'll have Mark Brunell from FDLE speak.
Thank you, Chief. So as standard protocol, FDLE is conducting a criminal investigation of the officer-involved shooting tonight. As the Chief said, there are multiple officers that returned fire from the suspect as he fired upon them. We have a ton of evidence to collect and analyze. We're going to be here a long time tonight. Multiple officers returned fire. And to the Chief's point, two things that I can say unequivocally quickly from the first assessment of this crime scene is we have a lot of heroism and a lot of good fortune on the part of TPD. They dodged a lot of potentially bad things tonight, and they were absolute heroes. So the investigation will take some time. We have a lot of evidence to, again, analyze, collect. We have digital evidence we have to get, witness interviews, witness officer interviews. We have a lot of work ahead of us, but I would ask the public to please give us some patience. These things take some time. Let the investigation bear out, and we will produce and present a thorough investigation to the State Attorney's Office for review. Thank you.
Chief, how many officers returned fire on the suspect?
That's part of our investigation now, and that's one of the things we're looking through. I'm sorry?
How many involved in the police administration?
That's one thing that they're doing right now, is going through that and determining that number.
You identify the suspect.
The next of kin has not been notified yet, so we can't yet, but we will as soon as we can.
Where are the kids right now?
They're with a family member and they're okay.
There was the one witness who told us she was literally in the SUV, caught up in the middle of this, and one of the officers went and pulled her out. Maybe you speak to that action, meaning the moment the gunfire
I spoke to that witness myself, and the first thing she did is praise our officers for saving her life. And I was told her that I was very glad that our officers were able to save her life.
Going off that, you both mentioned there was a lot of heroism, a lot of good fortune. Again, innocent people were kind of caught
A lot of those details will come out in the investigation. As FDLE had mentioned, there's a lot of that, but I can tell you that this suspect was an active threat, shooting a rifle out in our community.
And to that point, I would say at 6:02 p.m. on a busy highway, he's engaging in a running gun battle. So yes, there was lots of potential for civilians to be injured.
Is some of the evidence going to be body camera video for the officers?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Can you talk about when it became clear that he had an AK-47 and intended to use it as law enforcement?
When he pointed at our officers before the pursuit began.
Was that inside the car or inside the vehicle?
Again, specifics of those details will come out as we get more into the investigation.
It looks like there may have been a crash at a business through a fence. Can you talk about that? Was that part of the chase?
There's multiple aspects of all of that, and again, as you can tell, it's an involved investigation, and as we get to that, we'll get some more specifics for you.
Do we know if the suspect had a criminal history?
That's something that we're looking into right now. From what I can tell, it looks minor, but we are looking into that as well.
Can you speak to just the distance that the chase he led you on? Was it a couple blocks, a couple miles?
Well, I told you that it started over at Del Mabry and Spruce, so you can see where we are. That's quite a distance.
The person who was hit at this intersection, were they sent to the hospital as a precaution? Are they okay?
Again, part of all the investigation, but there were no injuries here.
Do we know if the brother alerted you guys by calling 911?
More specifics that'll have to come out in the investigation. All right? All right, thank you.
Thank you.